That's right, Chuck.
Hello there. Assemble.
Just chuck a fun.
99 nerds. We're live and we're here to talk. I'm here with Austin.
Gang, gang, baby.
Sean.
We're switching it around this week.
99 gang. On a scale of 1 to nerd, we're a 99.
That's facts.
What's the 99 gang sign look like?
I can't even put it up.
Good.
They'll come from the woodlands.
All right, well, today we're here to talk about the top 25 worst MCU characters. Is that right, Austin?
That's right. 25 worst, baby.
25 worst of the worst. We're going to preface this real quick with what we mean by worst. We're excluding little minor characters like cameos, like your Elon Musk is the worst of the worst, but he's just a cameo. He can't really count as a character. Howard the Duck. None of that nonsense. Right. We're talking about real characters. And also when we say worst, we don't just mean, oh, I hate them so much. It's like, well, because they could be a villain. They could be a character you're supposed to hate.
That's right, Chuck.
So we're talking about characters that we feel are the worst because they're so poorly written, poorly executed. They're a mess.
Right.
It's like I ordered the spicy chicken nuggets at Wendy's, and you gave me regular nuggets, but they've been sitting all night in the Frosties batter.
Or the McDonald's commercial shows a big juicy burger and then you get it. It's just like a taco.
Exactly.
Because you went to Taco Bell.
I actually did before that.
It was really late.
I think it's important to say where we're at right now in life. It is August 16th. So this list is based off of all the movies up until the last movie that came out, which was...
No, you mean MCU thing, which would be Secret Invasion.
Right.
Which I've finished Secret Invasion.
Good job, Sean.
What's our next movie coming out?
The Marvels.
Marvels.
Yeah.
So, just as a heads up.
Oh my gosh.
So some of those
characters can change
Here we go.
from this point on.
Yeah.
So that we may have characters in this list that have not seen their full arc.
A hint of
That's what
things
I'm
to
trying
come.
to say.
Right.
Right.
Some of these characters may make their way off the list. Some new characters may shoot up to the top of this list that we've yet to discover.
All right. So kicking things off at number 25, we're going to throw out a name a character that was absolutely wasted. And by that, I don't mean drunk. Quicksilver.
Got wasted.
Quicksilver.
You didn't see that coming?
Wanda's brother.
I don't remember his name. What's his name? Peter.
Maximum.
Yeah, Pietro.
Pietro. That's right.
Nice.
Is that real? Is that accurate?
I'm not going to fast check that. Yeah, I think so.
Why do you think he's of the 25 worst characters that have ever happened in MCU?
I think because he had the potential to be one of the best. And he was wasted.
It's sad. He's like, when you think about it, his power is like super OP.
For sure.
To be fair, I'm going to say it. I don't even care if the internet comes for me.
Oh, no.
I wish it was Hawkeye that jumped in front of him.
Oh my gosh.
I wish the roles were reversed. And Hawkeye died.
Is Hawkeye on this list?
I guess we'll find out.
Find out. But do you think that maybe Hawkeye would have died inside at that moment because somebody gave their life for his?
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, maybe it wasn't really Hawkeye. It was the fact that Hawkeye had that like little kid with him. It's like, I would have totally not even bothered if you didn't have a kid with you. Like, it's like the trolley problem. I was having to save two people.
The little kid grew up to be Kang.
I wish.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like that moral question.
No, the
You let
kid
die.
The kid grew up to be
Thanos. Barack Obama. I don't know.
Isn't that the premise of Civil War? Like one of the civilians who got killed in that fight was the son of some lady, and she like threw a fit at Tony Stark about it because like my son died in Sokovia.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he shouldn't have been there. I'm sorry. I saved a lot of people. I couldn't save him. My bad. It's his fault.
Yeah, I think Quicksilver had potential to be great. We've seen the Quicksilver scenes from the X-Men movies. We've seen what the Flash is capable of. Not so much in the movie, because we hated that movie, Ezra Miller. But in like all the comics, Flash is like the key to everything. And like Quicksilver is the one who saves all the X-Men when the house blows up. And then this Quicksilver didn't even last one movie, and he got shot by bullets.
Bullets are super deadly. I wouldn't recommend them.
True.
Well, I think what's probably the weirdest thing about that character is he's not even Quicksilver, because he's never actually been allowed to be called Quicksilver, because it was still like a Fox deal thing.
Right.
They won't have that problem going forward.
Right.
But let me just say this might come up again in the list later on.
Let me say this. They should have given more backstory to his character, and I think they should have done more Quicksilver backs. What do you think?
Man, silverbacks are already pretty strong if you make them quick.
Deadly. Then you're talking about top 25 MCU characters.
Would you eat a silverback burger at Fuddruckers?
Yes.
Like made from a gorilla.
Yeah.
Dude, that protein content must be insane.
I feel like it'd be hard to chew.
Joke's on you. You probably already have. Speaking of gorillas, let's move on to number 24.
At number 24, we have Todd Phelps.
Related to Michael Phelps, the Olympic gold medalist, which really makes his downfall all the more pathetic.
That's right, Chuck.
So much to live up to.
Yeah, so anybody who's seen She-Hulk knows who this is. This is the secret villain that you come to find out at the end. The guy who's obsessed with She-Hulk, who steals her blood and makes himself into a Hulk.
Somebody's got to.
Come at me, bro.
I won't.
I felt those words.
I don't know how much you guys want to dive into this character, because he just sucked.
Well, Todd Phelps, I guess in some way he's kind of, I flip-flop a little bit on how much of him as the worst, I'd think, because he's so spiteful and he's so selfish and narcissistic and but that's kind of how he's supposed to be written, because he's like intentionally like this horribly obnoxious man that pretty much ruins She-Hulk's storyline.
Oh my gosh.
And then that's what makes her stop everything and say, hey, my storyline's being ruined. I'm going to break through the fourth wall and go talk to Kevin about this.
Right.
But boy, I don't know. What would you call that? You wouldn't call that guy a neck beard, would you? He doesn't really have a neck beard.
No.
He's just like a desperate single guy who like is pathetic and lonely and reminds me of some people I know.
Yeah, me too. At number 23, we've got Jane Foster, Lady Thor.
Jane Foster sat in the background for like 12 movies, and I didn't have any hard feelings for her at all until Thor: Love and Thunder.
Taika Waititi really took her character and he made it something.
Yeah.
I guess my problem with characters like this is like they had a role that they served, a purpose that they served. And she was the supporting character for Thor. And after all these stories are told and they need something else, they take these supportive characters and they pump them with some power without really explaining it. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my biggest issues that as we go through this list, I'll explain a little bit more because I don't want to waste it on Lady Thor. I just think it's a cop-out. I don't think there's a good story there. And for them to just say she went to see the hammer and it just gave her powers, come on.
The hammer knew her though, David. I think her character lost me when they did that Bluetooth speaker scene with Valkyrie. Remember that?
No, that was, yes, you're right.
What happened?
It was like, I don't even remember what the Bluetooth speaker looked like, but she's like, is that a grenade or something? She's like, oh no, it's a Bluetooth speaker. And then they were playing
did their little bounce
like
to it.
Missy Elliott. And that's when I said, no more.
Here, the thing about Jane Foster for me that is kind of weird is that like, I felt like they were trying just to do so many things with her character all at once. And that was the problem because One, she's dying of cancer.
Someone had to go.
Two,
Someone had to die.
she becomes like a new Thor, which is both of these are interesting on their own. And then she reignites with Thor. And then there was like a fourth element of the movie that I didn't really know how to reconcile because it happens at the very end. Like, you remember they finally catch up to the villain at the end of the movie and they're talking to Gore, the God Butcher, and it's like, oh, my daughter. And Jane's like, leave her with us. Yeah. We'll take care of her. Okay. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be dead in 30 seconds. So I'm going to this is going to be your problem, Thor. Just so you know. Wait. So
I think even the story of the hammer, it just ruins it. Like Mjolnir.
Ruins it?
Yeah, just like how you can't harness Mjolnir without being like
chosen or worthy.
Worthy enough. And it's like, that's Cap's story.
Right.
And even Thor's story.
Okay.
And then she comes along and just whatever.
They spent 30 movies like telling you what the requirement was for Mjolnir and how it's like nobody is worthy. And then all of a sudden, yes, you are.
I thought that Jane in the earlier movies, because she's a scientist.
Right.
And so I thought like the kind of odd couple dynamic they had between her and Thor was Thor is this super powerful meathead who's also a fish out of water on Earth. And then Jane is this very analytical, intellectual person who has to like put up with this guy who is very powerful and they need his help. But it's also really hard to wrestle with his ignorance of things. So then when you get to Thor Love and Thunder, I felt like all of her like intelligence, sensibility, like all that just like left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she was just like being goofy and weird. And I would remember reading online people saying, oh no, maybe by having the powers of Thor, she's also picking up parts of his personality. I'm like, dang. Except that's not in the movie.
Right.
It's a dumb justification.
That doesn't happen to Cap either.
No. I'll say this though. Natalie Portman.
She's a babe.
She's great.
As Padme.
Listen, I'm on her side.
I will figure this out by myself.
Sounds good. David, hit us with the next one.
All right, at number 22, we've got Cassie Lang.
She's a babe.
Interesting.
Man, Austin is killing it on the sounds today.
That was tough.
So it's hard to talk about why Cassie Lang isn't very good unless you listen to our episode about Quantumania that we did.
Which might be one of my favorite pods.
But we talked about
it.
We talked about Cassie Lang is a teenage disaster in that movie.
Yeah.
I said it. I called it out first thing. Guys, I don't like her.
And it's that same problem where all of a sudden Cassie's got a suit and she can shrink.
Right.
It's like you spent these movies teaching us the importance of what it means to have that suit.
Right.
And then
the difficulty and the weight of it.
The price you got to pay.
And that's
a hero.
That's Marvel's problem. And it's the same thing with the Thor, like we just talked about, how he's just going to give all the kids his power and Love and Thunder.
Here's what it is. It's the superhero story problem where like you look back at Arrow on CW, where you see Oliver Queen and the struggle and being the Arrow and everything that he does. And then all of a sudden, everybody in his crew is a sidekick. Everybody in his crew learns how to fight and shoot. And it's like,
it's easy.
Can we just not?
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
I guess. Even Cassie Lang.
Remember when she made that speech to everybody? She like hijacked Kang's, I don't know, his communication thing.
Right.
And she's like just like giving a big old speech to everybody.
Nice try, Prince.
Listen up, guys. We gotta fight. And I remember we were talking about like they gave me like really big kid from Black Adam vibes.
Yeah. Oh. Can we put him in the list, even though he's
like
DC?
Really super awkward moment where this character is supposed to be compelling, but it's like, that's another thing too about Cassie is I felt like there were opportunities to give her like all you got to do to make a character sympathetic is put them in a situation where they're like up against it. And it's like, it requires them to like have to fight and like survive in a way they never have before. So here we go. We're having MODOK chase her around trying to kill her. And you're like, okay, well, she's up against the ropes. Like, come on, Cassie, I believe in you now. Suddenly, it happened. Good job. But he never got anywhere close to killing her.
Right.
And then when he got defeated by her, she just had this like horribly obnoxious, immature series of like
Right.
altruisms to tell him, which hurt my feelings
Yeah, I didn't
and
like
my
that.
ears.
Oh, and let's not forget, she stole that other actress's place.
Yeah. The recast.
She was always going to be off. She was always going to be on this list because of that.
Even if she killed it in that movie, that was
How could you do it to us?
dirty.
I just can't stand how Marvel does such a good job of like forging the heroes. Ant-Man, Thor, Captain America, even Iron Man. Like they forge them into the character.
Sure.
And now they're just taking these kids like Cassie and, Cassie can access the quantum realm. She's smart enough, even though, okay, she's just a troubled kid.
She
but
just
sure.
used ChatGPT. It was easy.
And now she's got a suit and, her dad does have to teach her how to fight. But
All she
it's
had to
like-
learn how to do was punch.
Right.
So that bothers me. So that's why she's on the list.
You see what I did? You see what I did?
No.
At number 21, we got Sharon Carter.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, Sharon Carter.
Uh-oh. She's kind of awful now.
What do you think about old Sharon, Austin?
Sharon Carter is top 5 wench. No, I don't know. I don't really have that much of a problem with Sharon Carter, so you guys need to
What about you, Dave?
tell me about her.
So I wasn't going to say anything, but I don't know who this is. Is she...
Sharon Carter is, you didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I didn't.
That's right.
I refuse. Can I say why?
You better.
Falcon should not have gotten the shield. That was Bucky's. And honestly, if it weren't for you two, Bucky would be on this list because of that.
You know what I think,
Weren't
Dave?
for YouTube. What does that mean?
You two. Oh. Austin and Sean.
You know what I
What
think,
did
Dave?
YouTube do?
I think you're going to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you're going to be like, wow, they answered that question I had.
I don't want it answered.
You do, though, Dave.
Some people want to watch the world burn.
All right, well. So anyway, back to Sharon. Sharon is... The problem I had with Sharon is she completely changes character personality between... It's like the BC and the AD of Sharon Carter is somehow like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's like a totally different character suddenly.
That's actually a really
She's
good
like a
call.
weird... what is she? Like you remember the name of her character was like the Prospector or something? The intelligence agent thingy, the intel list. Mm-hmm. It's like some dumb like name of like, she's like a grand organized crime boss behind the scenes or something like that. And she was annoying because she goes from like being this interesting secret agent who like lives next door to Captain America.
Right.
And this like little flirty kind of fun little thing where you think she's just like the cute girl next door. And then you find out she's an agent there to watch him. You're like, oh. And then like Cap's on the run. And then later on he meets up with her in Civil War because she's like one of the only people he kind of can trust still. And then they have like a little kiss. And it's like, that's the first time Captain America probably ever kissed anybody.
Yeah.
It's like really cute. And you're like, okay, yeah, Sharon's all right. And then her aunt was like the love of Captain America's life. And then at her funeral, she gave this big impassioned speech about standing up for your convictions and everything.
Yeah.
Like, dang, Sharon Carter's all right.
Right.
And then they undid all of that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's actually, I forgot about all that.
She's just a criminal. She's just a bad person. She murders people.
Yeah.
No chill.
None.
There's not even like for the greater good.
No.
It's just like, and that makes me sad. I don't like when people become bad people, Dave.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sad.
Unless it's Game of Thrones.
Whoa. We'll get into that later.
Next pod. All right. Well,
the only thing that keeps her from being higher up the list is the fact that she kills a character that's much higher up the list.
Oh my gosh.
oh, okay.
Little foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Oh my gosh.
Comment
Set
if you
up.
think you know who it is.
Reminder. Payoff.
Nice try, princess.
That was, I guessed on that one.
All right, moving forward at number 20, we got Wakabi. Not wasabi. Wakabi.
What is this?
Why is Wakabi on here, David?
To be honest, while you were talking about Sharon, I was looking up who this
You
is.
don't remember W'Kabi either. Do you remember? You remember W'Kabi,
He's from
Austin?
Black Panther.
I remember W'Kabi.
He is.
He's a traitor.
He's played by a great actor. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but
Get out!
Yeah, that guy's great. You'll find it. Don't worry.
Water.
Yep. And he, again, the problem with his character was, I felt like they just did him dirty, man. He just betrays all of his friends.
His wife.
Yeah. It's not even like, look, Killmonger makes a really compelling argument. I think he's right. I think we got to side with him on this, guys. It's like, that like just flipping the switch will like disenfranchise you from all the people who care about you most, but he doesn't even care. No regrets, no loyalty. Lock that guy up. Not in my kingdom.
I agree. He just completely turns his back on everybody.
You're not my bro.
Nah.
Who is he married to?
Okoye.
Oh, number 19, Okoye?
Oh my gosh.
So what's wrong with Okoye, Sean?
I hated Okoye more than I hated W'Kabi.
Her outfit in Wakanda Forever. What is that?
The Predator suit.
The Midnight Angel or something?
More like the Midnight Owl.
Oh.
More like, get out! No. Never mind.
It's all coming together.
I like that costume because it just looks like the character is constantly panicking.
Yeah.
Just these shocked open eyes.
Yeah,
I don't like
it. Was whack.
I know Okoye is like a pretty cool character. I know a lot of people like Okoye. I just don't think I could ever be friends with her. She's just so violent and angry and angsty.
Yeah.
And never gets along with anybody and just wants to fight
That's very
immediately.
true. That's very true.
You know those kind of people that you just feel like you can't make them like you because they don't like anyone or anything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she never has done anything. Like she's never used two hands at once in her life because one is always holding her spear.
That's true.
And I mean that not just literally, but metaphorically.
Oh, that'll.
She's always ready to start a fight.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunately not how things are done all the time. What's Ramona, right? The queen?
Right.
When she was chewing Okoye out. Have I not given everything? Whatever she said. She got nominated for best something.
Yeah, that was good.
Honestly, she should have just said, time out, Okoye. All you do is try to kill people. And now my daughter is in mortal danger. Correlation? Coincidence?
All right.
So,
Yeah.
Okoye, more like oy vey.
Oh, you wrote that joke down.
She doesn't have any negotiation skills.
Well, I think she's an honorable warrior of Wakanda.
You shut
And
up.
she sticks to her post.
Would you want her to be your bodyguard?
No. I wouldn't. Not with that suit. At number 18, we have Titania.
Water.
The worst part of Nope.
Almost.
Hold on.
Almost.
The thing with that character is there's no backstory. She just like is on the scene, and apparently she's like an influencer in that world, and everybody knows her. But she has super strength for some reason, and like
Sure.
there's just not enough Quicksilver backs of her character. Like, what the heck happened?
She just wants to fight She-Hulk all the time.
For no, just like all the time.
It's like, hey, you're in court, let's fight. Hey, you're at a wedding, let's fight. Hey, I'm in the bathroom. I gotta go fight you.
David, what did you think of Titania?
I thought she was annoying.
Facts.
I thought it was very out of place for her to have powers. She just felt like a strong Kylie Jenner.
Wow.
And I don't
know who Kylie Jenner is.
I don't care for Travis. I don't care for Kylie. I don't care for their kids.
I don't know who Travis is.
Pray for
Sicko mode.
Kanye.
Are these MCU characters?
These are Earth 616 characters.
Oh yeah.
Or 1999.
Austin, how would you have improved? Like, what if Titania had a come to Jesus moment where she like got hit on the head really hard by She-Hulk at one point, and she's like, "What am I doing with my life? Why am I always so like selfish?" And I need to change.
Isn't the beauty of a Disney Plus series where you can really like give more information about the characters involved in your show, and yet there's way less info about her character than any character ever.
It's true. You know, I have
She just runs on the scene and is like, oh, she's powerful. She hates She-Hulk. What is going on?
I'll give you an analogy. I've been suffering from having like fruit flies in my kitchen for a couple months now.
Dang.
And I've been trying to learn, like, what do I need? I'm cleaning everything I can.
Yeah.
It's not getting rid of them. Okay, well, I'll do the little apple cider and vinegar kind of in a bowl trick. Doesn't get them.
Dang.
So finally, I just bought a like a fly zapper thing to get them, and I think it's working. But the point is, they're just always annoying me, and it's like, oh gosh. But anyway, I had to learn a lot about fruit flies, how they breed.
Sure.
You know, what attracts them to your home.
Yeah.
How to get rid of them effectively, humanely if possible. Point is, I know more about fruit flies than I know about Titania.
Word.
So Titania is annoying, but not to the extent that I care to learn more about her.
Right.
I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to keep watching She-Hulk. You almost turn it off at that point.
Yeah, she's the reason for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I see the chit chat is over.
Well, we might have some more reasons coming up. But at number 17, we've got Red Skull.
I am a princess of Alderaan.
Of Germany.
I just hit the red button because of Red Skull. That was the red button.
There's just something so lame about Red Skull. He's just a Nazi villain. He's a mustache twirler. He's twirled his mustache so many times. He's ripped all the skin off of his face. That's how he got that way.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he's a loser.
Yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't even fight anybody.
He doesn't.
Captain America shows up and he's like, time for me to make my escape. Yeah. He's like General Grievous.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate General Grievous with that regard.
But worse, because General Grievous is just a droid.
Oh,
Red Skull's a Nazi.
Ah,
Ugh.
gosh.
Ugh.
Talk about.
Yeah, Red Skull is
Any
a
other
mosquito.
thoughts about Red Skull?
No, I got nothing.
You it sounds like you just don't have any problem with Nazis. Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Austin has cited.
That's not true.
I thought Dave talking about how he doesn't feel like Sam should get the Captain America shield was bad enough. But now I got a sympathizer over here. Yeah, why don't you tell me about the smokestacks at Auschwitz and how they don't...
Unlike you, I embrace it proudly. Without fear. Then how come you're running?
I don't remember a single thing about Red Skull, honestly. I've watched Captain America like 4 or 5 times, the first one.
I guess I don't understand why he is watching over the Soul Stone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How did he get in that position?
Well, he found the Tesseract, right? Did he find it, though?
Yes.
Yeah, he had it.
Hail Hydra.
Dang, dude. How you going to say that?
Just when you thought being a Nazi was bad enough, he became a Nazi of Nazis.
Yeah.
He even got more down the occult deep end.
He's like a Nazi. Right?
That's easy.
I don't know. What else?
Moving on.
At number 16, we've got Zeus.
Oh, yeah. Get out, Zeus.
I just couldn't stand him. And I don't want to say that about every character, but I think this was weird because Zeus is supposed to be like the highest power in Thor's world. In this, like, they bring in like the gods. Thor is the god of thunder and whatever. Zeus is the god of lightning. So this is like Thor's idol.
Right.
And then they introduce him and he's just a sleazebag. He's just over-sexualized. It's just gross.
Yeah.
There's no like redeeming quality about him. He's
How
just...
many parents walked out of the theater and had to explain to their kid what Zeus was saying? What did he mean, Mom, when he said this? Thanks a lot, Taika. Putting us parents in a bad spot.
I think that Zeus is awkward because he's like a like we said at the beginning, like, you know, just a silly little cameo isn't really enough to warrant being a worse character. But Zeus feels like a very overstayed cameo. It's like a bit, a joke that's not really funny, and they just keep going with it.
And that is Thor: Love and Thunder.
It's awkward because if you think about that whole scene, they're in this giant stadium with all the different gods, and Zeus is obviously the most vocal and active one in the scene, but like it's like 10-15 minutes of just listening to him be weird and obnoxious.
Yeah.
And awkward.
It was uncomfortable.
Do you think that there's kind of like his portrayal was written to be that awful because there's like kind of a weird fat phobia thing going on in the world today?
I've never hated a fat in my life.
Jeez.
I'm going to stop you right there.
You got saturated.
You've never hated a fat?
Yeah, like saturated.
Oh.
Unsaturated, polysaturated.
He's like you said, he's sleazy, and then he doesn't really have a comeuppance for it. Mm-hmm. Like there's no like justice served against him. He doesn't really like get to like have a lesson be learned. He kind of just like gets. You think he gets killed,
right?
But then like the end credit scene, he's still alive, and then he's like gonna sick his dog or sick his son on Thor like a dog. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, this guy is. He's a dirty dog, and he didn't learn a thing.
And maybe in the next Thor movie, we get a little bit more Zeus.
Yeah, do you want to see more of Zeus, though?
I don't, and that's the thing, and that's why he's on the list.
It's with that accent.
Yeah.
Who is it, Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson? Russell Crowe.
Do you think that Russell Crowe was miscast, or do you think he was the right guy for the role?
I mean, who would you have as Zeus?
Me.
Ryan Gosling.
Ian McKellen.
Ian McDermott.
No,
you will die.
He's already got it figured out.
Exactly.
The lightning part.
That would have been good, yeah.
All right.
God of Lightning. Go, David.
All right, at number 15, we've got Ivan Vanko, a.k.a. Whiplash, from Iron Man 2. Yeah.
Seems like 37 years ago that movie came out.
Yeah, Whiplash is like that phase 1. Was it still phase 1?
Yeah,
Iron Man
I think
2?
so.
Yeah.
Where the villains were just like, what's the stupidest, laziest, easiest path of least resistance villain we can make? Throw it in the movie. Go.
That's what I was going to say. He's so like he just rolled out of bed and he's going to go fight Iron Man.
Right.
That's like what it feels
Literally.
like.
It's like, who's a popular actor right now? Mickey Rourke. He's having a resurgence. Let's just throw him in a suit and call him Whiplash.
Yeah. I feel like Iron Man's villains all have like the worst origin story.
Yeah.
They all were like slightly slighted by Tony Stark at some point, and they're like, that's it. I'm getting an electric suit together.
Yeah, literally every single one.
And even like Mysterio is technically an Iron Man villain.
Yeah. Tony Stark turns out has ticked off a lot of people by being a billionaire.
Yeah, you got Iron Man 1 is the villain. Oh, what is it? Obadiah.
His partner, yeah.
You got Obadiah. His business partner.
Right.
2 is this Russian guy who apparently created...
I want my bird.
Yeah.
Is the bird on this list?
The bird's all right.
Should be.
And then who's number 3? The
Killian.
Mandarin.
Yeah. Adrian Killian.
Did we put him on the list?
Who was ignored by Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Mysterio.
Let that be a lesson to you business owners out there.
Oh my gosh.
Don't ignore the little guy.
Ever.
Show him respect like you would expect to be respected.
That's right.
You got to give this to Whiplash though. He's got a unique gimmick.
A toothpick in his mouth?
Oh, I mean like the whips.
Oh yeah. Honestly, as a kid, I thought the whips were cool.
Yeah, he fights him at a NASCAR event or something.
And you were literally like 8 when that movie came out.
But that's the funny thing too about Whiplash. It's like, why are you fighting Tony Stark here? Like one cop could shoot you.
Yeah, that's...
What are you doing? Can you imagine? There should have been a scene where the police were like, "Whoa, stop that! Hold on. This is Iron Man's fight. He has to do this."
Do not intervene. Yeah.
It's like that scene in Gladiator.
Sword! Give me a sword! Sheathe your sword! Sheathe your sword!
I've actually never seen Gladiator.
Oh my gosh. You never watched Hero, did you, either? The Jet Li movie.
No.
Oh, gosh. You guys are so uncultured.
Jet Li the one?
That one's good too. I'm talking about Hero.
All right, David, hit us.
All right, at number 14,
Gosh,
we have
14. Here we go.
I'm not ready.
No one ever is.
the Ancient One.
The Ancient
Doctor Strange.
How did you pronounce that one more time?
The Ancient One.
She's anxious.
Ancient One.
She's a very old, anxious person.
I don't know. All I see is the witch from Narnia. When I see her.
That's good.
And I've never liked it.
That's not a bad comparison.
Just correlation. She's on my list.
Sean, tell us why the Ancient One sucks. Respectfully.
Whitewashing aside,
Oh.
the Ancient One's hypocritical. Like, I think one of the biggest premises about her character in that movie is, like, she's all like strict about don't use the dark powers, don't draw from the dark realm, blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, like, okay, we got this big bad villain and he's gonna destroy everything unless we do something. And then it's like, okay, well, Ancient One, you have the time stone. Can't you, like, pretty much solve this issue in like 3 seconds? But then she doesn't. And then come to find out later that the Ancient One has been, like, drawing power from the Dark Realms or whatever to, like, magically prolong her life anyway. Just a hypocrite. Say one thing, do another. You know, Jesus had a few things to say about you. Ancient One.
Got her.
Got her.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he
Monkey
said.
poo all over you.
Yikes.
So it's like the idea of a character that just, like, bends the rules for themselves.
Right.
I like that.
No.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bad person. Not a hero.
She should.
Not in my book.
She should be a political.
At least Red Skull and Whiplash are, like, obviously bad guys.
Right.
Like, they don't try to hide it.
Right.
Right. She does that in Narnia too.
Talking about.
She acts all nice to Lucy.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's probably why they cast
Very on brand for her.
that actress is great. I can't remember her name right now, but that's probably why they cast her, because they couldn't get the witch from Chronicles of Narnia out of their head. I can't sleep at night. It's keeping me up. I gotta put her in this movie. But sir, she's not even from Nepal. Like, it's the Ancient One. Like, it's completely a different race, gender, everything. No.
Maybe you're right. Shave her head.
No one will notice. Don't worry.
All right, moving on. At number 13, we got Dormammu. Also, a Doctor Strange villain.
Dang.
I've come to bargain.
I don't remember anything about that character.
And that's what's wrong with Dormammu.
Yeah.
They build him up as like this giant Galactus level threat. Like, he's going to destroy the universe. And he's so overpowered. He's so, like, absurdly hyped up. But then he just becomes so generic and incomprehensible as a character.
Yeah.
Like, he's only introduced, like, in the last 7 minutes of the film, and then they treat him like a big joke because, like, it's a gag of, like, Doctor Strange
Catches him in a loop.
putting him in a time loop. Also,
Yes.
just think about design for a character. Okay, we got to create, like, this super powerful, ultra godlike being.
Hey, don't run from the Lord!
All right, well, we're gonna, what should we do? Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna have a big purple cloud and I'm gonna put a face on it. Okay, yeah. Then what about voice? How's it going to sound? I'm going to get just anyone, and I'm going to just put a little drop their voice down filter.
Nice. Yeah,
Imagine the whole movie you're hyping up. The villain is desperately trying to get this guy to return to destroy all of eternity. Mm-hmm. And then you encounter him, and it's like a 13-year-old wrote this character.
We need a fart noise sound on this thing, Sean. Yeah, I think
I actually intentionally got rid of the one that was already installed on it.
Dang.
So
I think this would be one of those characters where super hyped up, didn't do much, didn't live up to the potential, probably in the comics had a much bigger role, and just in the MCU, they super downplayed and nerfed him.
You guys ever see the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie?
Yes.
Remember the villain from that?
Yes.
It was just like a cloud face thing?
Yeah.
That's Dormammu.
Yeah, that's a good call.
But at least the Green Lantern one was in like half the movie.
Right.
Whereas Dormammu is just like...
one scene.
Yeah.
Doesn't he just make a deal with him too? Or something like that?
Yeah. I've come to bargain.
Yeah.
They did the character of Dormammu better in Loki season 1. Where it was like the giant beast thing that was in that weird realm that was like going to destroy everything, and then you had then you had like eventually the old Loki stood up to him, like, what is it called? Something potential was his phrase.
I don't remember.
Limitless potential, or the unbearable weight of massive talent, something like that. Oh yeah, that's how you do a cool giant purple cloud of a villain.
Right.
Remember Lost, the smoke monster?
Oh, talk about it, Sean.
Remember Galactus from like
Silver Surfer,
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Dude, classic.
Dormammu, what a joke.
Got him.
I'm not even afraid of him.
Hit us, David.
At number 12, we have Thena from Eternals.
How much do you remember about Thena?
I've never seen Eternals.
Me neither.
You both haven't seen Eternals?
It's considered one of the worst movies, and Harry Styles is in it.
Then why'd you want to do a worst characters of Marvel list if you don't even want to go down to the depths?
You don't even want to
find
watch
out
the worst movies. It's on my list, and I've heard nothing but terrible things.
One of these days, Austin's gonna post his list.
Hey, after this list, I watched something on my list, and I'm gonna talk about it.
All right, let me summarize.
10 seconds.
I'll summarize Thena in three ways real quick. One, she is suffering from some sort of amnesia psychosis problem, which makes her a fantastically annoying character to watch. Two, because of this problem, number one, she is a constant liability to the team and their mission. And then three, they have her love interest killed off in the movie, thus leading to her having a very underwhelming revenge subplot.
Oh.
And so it's like just a very unlikable detour that they create with this movie, with this character in that movie.
Isn't it Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, played by Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
Get Angelina Jolie in the MCU.
And she's on our worst list.
And you know who she is? She's Cortana from Halo 4.
Oh my gosh.
Or is it Halo? It's Halo 4.
Where she has amnesia?
Yeah, and she's just like always like flipping out and going crazy and saying weird stuff. Yeah.
Screw that.
If there was like a worst of the, not MCU, but just the just the universe, Cortana would be pretty close to the top of that list.
Word.
Thena is Cortana. Hashtag.
Not my Cortana.
Not my Cortana.
Stop.
Hey, it was David.
At number 11, we've got Ralph Bonner.
It's not it.
Is it?
It's Ralph Boner.
You see, you put me in charge of a list.
That's the joke.
I see.
Do you remember him?
I do. This was the guy in WandaVision,
Yes.
he played the Quicksilver in the 20th Century Fox X-Men movies.
Yes, correct.
So this is a little tease at the fact that Disney and 20th Century have now combined.
Oh
Disney
my
bought them.
gosh.
Disney now owns the rights to X-Men. Oh my gosh, are they going to bring them in? Here's a
Dude.
tease. We're going to bring Quicksilver.
It ends, when they introduce him, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. End of the episode.
With that, whatever her name is, lady, is like, what the heck? They recast Quicksilver?
Agatha.
Or whatever she said?
Yeah.
They recast Pietro? I'm like, oh. And then like cut to the credits. Like, oh, shoot. Can't wait to watch next week. What's going on?
Big nothing burger.
Big nothing burger. What were some of your thoughts, Austin, when they revealed that, like, oh no, this isn't her brother. This is like an awful, terrible meta joke that doesn't make anybody happy.
I will say that I wasn't keeping up with those episodes as they were happening, and I saw Instagram like going insane, like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. This is how they bring in the X-Men. They're finally, this is, because it was like right after they worked all that out. Whatever it is they worked it out, and then it's like, boom, he's in WandaVision. Everybody's like, you gotta watch WandaVision. Is Wolverine gonna be in WandaVision? What are they doing?
Anything's possible.
They weren't doing anything. So yeah, I think that character is just like a big slap in the face to they didn't mean to, but they slapped everybody in the face with that episode.
And then you find out later his name it's not Pietro, just like as a weird recast. It's a guy named Ralph
Yeah.
Boner.
Whose mind was manipulated by
by-
Agatha, right?
And can you imagine how differently that all actually would have been if instead of that actor from the Fox X-Men movies, they just got back the guy who played her brother from Age of Ultron? Like he just shows up at her door.
Right.
Would have been very, very more like intentional, like, oh my gosh, wow, like
Yeah.
that's her brother, he's back. And it's
Yeah.
like, then it becomes more of a tragic thing of like she's making these things all up to make herself feel better.
And then maybe Quicksilver isn't on our list at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what makes Ralph Boner terrible. He ruins 2 characters, if not 3 or 4. Because now I don't even like that guy in the 20th Century Fox movies anymore.
Oh no, he's so good, Sean.
Nope.
They do the really good slow-mo scenes that I love.
Nope. You know what he's doing in all those slow motion scenes?
What?
He's taking a longer time being stupid.
Dang.
He's the worst character, but just in slow motion.
Wow.
So you have to spend more time with him.
Oh no. It's like, imagine if the Nicole Kidman ad during the AMC 30 was being played in slow motion.
Exactly.
Yikes. Your movie starts in 47 minutes.
Because we need that. All of us.
Shot like a chump in the street for no reason at all, and next thing I know, I heard you calling me. I knew you needed me.
All right, we have officially reached our top 10 worst MCU character. At number 10, we have Ajax.
Oh my gosh, we need to redo this list. You guys don't even know Ajax.
Eternals.
Man, oh man.
Sean, you put Ajax on this list, and I said, I trust Sean.
Ajax is objectively worse than Athena. Or, I'm sorry, Thena, not Athena. Although I think in the Eternals they make that joke of like somebody asking if her name is Athena. But that's like, no, it's Thena.
That's dumb.
You guys got to watch Eternals. Let's do an Eternals episode,
Dude.
where you guys watch it and we tear it apart.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Man.
Ajax is
David's totally
Ajax
in.
is ostensibly the leader of the Eternals,
Okay.
played by Salma Hayek.
Okay.
And you're watching the movie, which the first, whatever it is, 10 minutes of the movie is like an extended prologue, and you're learning about her role and how she leads the team, and she's very motherly and nurturing and like always encouraging to all the Eternals and like keeps them all focused on the goal. And you're like, okay, I'm excited to see, what happens to Ajax. Is she gonna like have to work harder than ever before to keep the team together? No, she dies off screen. She's gone. Oh, she's dead.
Someone had to go.
Yeah.
Someone had to die.
But somebody didn't have to die off screen, and then for the characters to find her dead body like 30 minutes into the movie, and then her being dead forces the characters to find out what happened which is ultimately a red herring because the person who killed her is one of the Eternals on the team.
Oh my gosh.
And so the whole movie's plot is trying to find Ajax killer.
Oh my gosh.
And that's like a complete waste of time. She is a prop character. Nothing in the movie changes if Ajax didn't exist.
Got her.
Like Ajax could have been a bag of jewels that was stolen and they're looking for it. And also Salma Hayek is just kind of like, comes across as like, her performance is like super pretentious.
This planet and these people have changed me.
So we've got some high profile actors and actresses on this list that just like flopped.
I'm excited about the rest of this list because I'm starting to get more and more afraid that it's only characters I know about, even though it's on the tops of our list.
Here's the reality, Sean. You put more effort into this list than me and David did. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. And Sean has notes next to every cell, and it's like, dang, I mean, he's got reasons for it. I trust him.
Lately.
You're the GOAT, Sean.
Yeah, you're very logical with these. I'm more so like, I don't like their face. They're on my list.
Same.
Is that
For example.
Is that how you treat people?
Do I treat people like that?
Yeah, you just don't like their face and so you don't like them?
I'm more of like a voice person. If I don't like your voice, I don't want to talk to you.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That's worse.
That is worse.
At number 9, we've got Jan Raj.
I'm so proud of you.
Young Roger.
Young Roger.
Dude,
yeah.
Roger when he was younger, forget it. Worst MCU character.
Now tell me what you remember about Jan Rog, played by Jude Law in one of your favorite movies, Captain Marvel.
I do like that movie. So I know he was like the mentor, the teacher, the fight instructor. Like, let me teach you the ways, let me build you up, let me show you the ropes.
Yeah.
I know the movie thought you thinking one way in the beginning, and they change your mind of who really is the bad guy, which becomes him.
Sure.
This guy has been teaching Captain Marvel, don't give in to your emotions, don't turn to the dark side, which we love Star Wars for. Dang. So I'll let you explain why you hate him for this reason.
So you're correct in that on paper, Jan Rog isn't really that bad of a character. He's like, he's a secret villain. That's been done before and has been done fine, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, he seemingly is on her team. He's seemingly on her side until she learns the truth. He's secretly been a bad guy. I've been working for the bad guys the whole time. And now she's like, yeah, she's got to like try to find a way to redeem herself, right? But here's the problem. What is we'll get into this later. But do we get Captain Marvel's character arc in her movie from anybody other than Jan Rog?
No.
Like you said earlier, he's the one telling her, don't be emotional, don't do this. Like, is any other character in the movie trying to talk to her like that?
No.
And that's the problem with Jan Rog. He's the definition of gaslighting.
You're a coward.
Now, a character that does that in a movie that is essentially about a woman as the lead is interesting, theoretically. Like, oh yeah, it's her boss who she's a lot smarter than, a lot stronger than, but he's always like talking down to her and making her think she's not capable like she really is.
Right.
Like, that all is kind of interesting, but the problem with this character is this is a movie. And dialogue matters. How you present things in a movie matter. So when I'm watching a scene with Jude Law telling Brie Larson, you need to control this, you need to focus on this is important, this is important. As an audience member, I'm thinking, oh, here we go, set up. And then later on, he repeats it back to her. And I'm like, oh, reminder.
I know about that.
And then it's like, I'm waiting for the payoff. The payoff is that nothing he said mattered.
Right.
He didn't know what he was talking about. He might as well have been like, he might as well have been a flat earther talking to a Mannequin Skywalker. Like, he just did totally unrelated things.
Yeah.
And so he kind of is an awful character. Oh my gosh, bumping mics. He's an awful character because he confuses not just the main lead of the film, the hero, the protagonist. He's a bad character because he completely confuses the entire story. He sets everything off on the wrong direction.
Right.
Captain Marvel's arc, it's not like her arc was, oh, I've been told my whole life to constrain my emotions, and then by the end I realized, no, I have to really let them go. Her arc has nothing to do with that. None of that's even relevant. So this is a guy talking to a completely different character in a completely different movie, and he just ruins everything.
Turn off the light show and prove to me you can beat me without.
I think there comes a point you need to take responsibility for your own actions, though, and we'll talk about it. So at number 8, we've got Eleanor Bishop.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, baby.
Did you watch Hawkeye, Dave?
No, and I have a problem with Hawkeye. They take him too serious for his own good. The Avengers, I almost put Hawkeye on this list. Almost.
Okay.
In Avengers, this guy has the most confidence out of anybody. What a kite. He's sitting there shooting arrows without even looking. He's a human. He is a human being. Now, sure, there's billions of aliens in the sky. Yeah, if you launch, you're gonna hit something.
But aren't you like attracted or at least like compelled by a character who's really skilled? Who gets the job done?
Yes.
Boba Fett?
Legolas. Yes. But he's too cocky amongst people who are actual heroes.
It makes him come across as either unintelligent or maybe compensating for something.
Yes. So his show comes out.
Your confidence is your weakness.
I refuse to watch his offspring follow their dad's footsteps.
Wow. All right, I desperately need you to say, I desperately need you to stop with this. I refuse to watch a show because A or B.
I just haven't had time to watch it.
Yeah, that's why you're not watching, let's be honest. Did you watch Hawkeye, Austin?
No.
God dang.
So who is Eleanor Bishop?
So there's a show called Hawkeye. It's about a guy who used to be on the Avengers, but now he's like going deaf because he's been blasted through too many windows and fallen off too many buildings.
That's right, Chuck.
And to be clear, not because I want you, just because I need you.
Oh. What happened?
Too hard to tell.
And then there's this girl named Kate Bishop who is like his biggest fan, and she grows up learning how to shoot a bow and arrow too because she thinks he's cool. And then she's got this mom named Eleanor who is
She's a
wench. And she's just so basically Kate Bishop's dad accidentally got killed on the battle for New York in the first Avengers movie.
Oh no, because Hawkeye was being too confident.
Exactly. But
blind fired
before that happened, Kate Bishop saw him shooting arrows at guys without even looking.
They fly now.
And she was like, that is the coolest person in the world. I want to be like that when I grow up.
Dang.
But then her dad died.
Oh.
But good news, she's rich. So she'll be okay. But Eleanor Bishop, turns out she learns her husband, he was in debt to one Wilson Fisk.
Oh my gosh.
And so in order to try to accommodate his debt, in order to try to absolve her husband's debt because she was worried Fisk was going to go after her family, she does the reasonable thing and goes from a housewife to essentially just a murderer working for Fisk. And then she proceeds to spend most of her daughter's life living like this in secret. And then eventually she meets this guy who she gets engaged to, and poor Kate is like, oh, I don't know this guy very well. I don't like this guy, about to marry my mom. What the heck? He's just a stepdad. I don't like him. which is funny because the guy's actually kind of fun. The guy's actually kind of cool, but that's why you don't trust him. He's too cool. Ooh, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And so eventually there's a murder that happens in the show, and Kate Bishop is like convinced it was the stepdad character, like it's got to be him. Come to find out, it was the mom. The mom murdered him.
Oh my gosh.
And worse, when her fiance was asking too many questions, getting too close, Eleanor framed him for the death.
It doesn't have to end like this.
And so Eleanor has been just committing all sorts of crimes and bad decisions all across the way. She's the villain of Hawkeye.
Dang.
Fisk is kind of like the Dormammu who like just shows up and is like really obnoxiously powerful for a minute, but it's Eleanor Bishop, mom. And Kate finally has to confront her. And Eleanor looks at her daughter like, this is what heroes do.
Right.
Arrest their mothers on Christmas.
Yeah, what is Disney trying to teach these kids? Don't trust your mother.
Oh.
They're trying to turn the younger generation away.
They're tearing apart the family unit, Sean.
We're like, hey, your husband owes money to the wrong people. Better start doing
him to
worse
Starbucks.
things.
Make sure he orders the wrong drink.
Better start doing worse things than your husband ever did to get yourself out of it. Although it's been like a decade and you obviously haven't worked your way out of the debt, so you're just a bad person.
Not good.
Talk about gaslighting.
Oh.
Just lies to her daughter nonstop. Makes her daughter think that she can't even trust what's really going on. It's a bad mom.
She Jan-Raj'd her.
Yeah. She's like the mom from
Nice.
She's like the mom from Rapunzel. Rapunzel's
Mother knows best.
Yeah.
Listen to your mother.
She looks like her too.
Is this what heroes do? Arrest their mothers on Christmas?
All right, at number 7, we have Ronan the Accuser. And at 6, we have Malekith. We're just going to pair those together.
They're the same guy.
But there's nothing you can do to help a person like that.
They're bad people. They're pale-skinned. They have deep voices. They don't have eyebrows, I think.
Forgettable.
Yeah, that's a good call.
They're always like, they got dark eyes.
Just such a generic villain.
They're angry. And they're looking to destroy something. Somehow. They want the MacGuffin so that they can do the thing.
That's true.
That's what those guys are about.
Yeah.
Malahu?
Like, how about what if I told you? What if I told you one day, digital movie technology will be so prolific that just like people can like put Snapchat filters on themselves now for like TikTok or whatever, you will be able to do that with movies. And what if I told you doing something like deep faking a character from one movie into another will be as simple as like a button press one day? So I propose you could swap Malekith and Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Thor 2. Nothing would change.
Dude, that's a great call.
In fact, I would be way into a Disney Plus show that's just those two guys desperately trying to find a way to set themselves apart from each other.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Like a buddy, like an odd couple comedy.
I like it.
Like a Megamind type movie.
Exactly.
No, I'm the villain.
No, I'm the villain. No, I'm darker. No, I'm darker.
Yeah, super forgettable.
Put it together.
What are you doing?
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
But you know who's not forgettable, Dave? No matter how much we try to wash it from our eyes.
At number 5, we have Megan the Stallion.
Megan the Stallion.
That's right. There's only one Megan the Stallion.
Now I know earlier we said we weren't going to do like little cameo things, but we lied because this one's
Yeah,
important.
This one hit number 5 because this is the dumbest crap I've ever seen in my life.
How many MCU hardcores do you think quit when Megan Thee Stallion showed up?
So you got to think, the people that follow Megan Thee Stallion, you think they're watching MCU?
I'd never heard of her until the show.
Oh, I've heard of her.
I just don't listen to her because I'm a pure man.
I'm not a pure man, but I haven't heard of her.
It's the same problem with Zeus from Thor. It's this over-sexualized, stupid, just like unnecessary scenes.
Hey, don't run from the Lord!
Exactly. What are we doing as a nation? We're running. We're sprinting from the Lord. No, we're twerking away.
Slowly backing up.
So for those of you, the image I got in my head from that was great. What has gone wrong with this world is, let's make a show about She-Hulk and let's just make this like positive sexuality like crap.
I hope you like pain.
Where we're gonna promote Tinder, twerking, women. I'm just kidding. No. And here's the thing. I gotta follow up with some good
law school.
Bars. One night stands with Daredevil.
Yeah, you're gonna, and that's the other thing. You're gonna take my favorite character, Daredevil, turn him into a sexual, promiscuous.
Dial it back.
In Daredevil, yes, a lot of ladies like him. It's the whole like wounded duck. You know, he can't see, so you feel bad.
Do you think that's what I need? What I need to do, guys? Just
blind yourself. Apparently, ducks can't see.
What do they do with my favorite character, Ost? They over-sexualize him and they turn him into a demon, a pervert.
It sounds like Megan Thee Stallion isn't necessarily the singular problem with you had with She-Hulk, but she's like,
it's what put me over the edge.
She's like the plutonium, the most radioactive part.
Dude, that's a great call. You must have seen Oppenheimer like 5 times for you to come up with that.
I want to
I've seen it
like
4 times. I'll see it a 5th time tomorrow.
I want to schedule an interview on this podcast with the visual effects girl, probably a girl. Who spent probably a month creating that scene of She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion.
Now, first of all, Dave, you're making some assumptions. They were never going to be given a timeline of a month. They were given about 45 hours.
Sure. So a whole week of work. I want to sit down with them and say, was it worth it? Was it worth it?
They didn't want to do it.
And maybe they did it. And maybe that's why they're striking. But they did it. And that's the problem.
That's why they're striking.
That Megan Thee Stallion exists in the MCU.
Yeah. It's tough.
Actually, I was going to say that I didn't watch She-Hulk until like after all that stuff was already out. People were complaining about it. So when I finally did see that moment in the show, I was like, whatever. It's just funny. It's goofy. Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Like, let them do something dumb. It's not a big deal. Until I thought about it, and I'm like, it's not the twerking. It's the canonization of Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Nar.
I don't want her to be canonized in this one.
Nar, why?
So,
you know, if you say R and R, it sounds like you're saying oh no in an Australian accent.
R and R. Oh man. I will say, when you guys are like, let's do a worst character list, Megan Thee Stallion was the first name I wrote down.
My notes, I have all these notes next to these names, but for my notes for Megan Thee Stallion were just ...
Yeah. No explanation.
I think because I just didn't want to talk about it.
And here we are. Let's keep it moving.
I hope we be past this, guys.
All right.
What are we on, number 45 or something at this point?
At number 4.
Oh, it's close.
Number 4.
Say it.
Captain Marvel. Brie Larson.
What?
Want to fight?
Brother. This girl stinks. So like you were saying with Young Rog, whatever his name is, Captain Marvel sucks. This is the worst character. This would be my number 1 if it weren't for you guys.
Okay.
This would be number 1 for me. This character is the worst character. You know why? Because they spent 23 movies building up this story with Thanos, giving people their candy, giving people their
spinach.
I almost said broccoli.
That guy looks like broccoli.
And they go hand in hand. The candy and the broccoli. It's a balance of calories.
Yeah.
This is good.
It's let's forge Iron Man into being Iron Man. Let's take the most selfish person.
Iron Man.
The most selfish person. Let's turn him selfless throughout 20 movies.
That's a story right there.
Let's take Captain America. All right? Let's put him on some steroids that show who he really is. Anybody else who's on these,
that's a story.
And you've got this honorable man who then is worthy enough in 22 movies to wield a power that he could not yield early on. It's Ant-Man.
Oh.
Who had to earn that suit.
Yeah.
It's Thor, who had his power taken away.
Stripped.
An arrogant prince
And had to take it back.
to a warrior who fights for justice selflessly. A petty thief that becomes a hero.
It's Doctor Strange, who lost everything.
A narcissistic surgeon who thinks he's unstoppable, who has to lose everything in order to put himself back together in a way that's virtuous and noble.
It's Shang-Chi.
Sean!
Who has to live with the repercussions of his dad's teachings and what his dad made him do.
Trauma.
And then you've got Captain Marvel, who is inserted literally at movie 22, at the climax that everything's been building to.
Okay.
And you're going to introduce a character that is the most overpowered piece of S, who literally comes in when 40 of our heroes, I'm being dramatic, 20 of our heroes are suffering at the hand of Thanos, who all 20 of them cannot assemble. Oh, that was good.
I had my finger on it the whole time.
To defeat this guy and his ships and his commanders. And you've got this character who just flies in the middle of battle with a stupid haircut.
Oh my gosh.
Destroys this giant ship.
Yeah.
That would have took the other heroes 80 movies to destroy. She destroys it in 1 second. And then she comes down, stands over my boy Peter Parker, and says,
He's a good boy.
Hey, Peter Parker. And it's a low shot it's down, looking up at Brie Larson as if she is something to be worshipped. This stoic hero-esque, whatever the female hero is called. Hero-esque?
Heroin?
Heroin.
Okay, well, that's also a drug.
Might as well be doing heroin.
We don't want to get in trouble, so.
And it's her looking down at Peter Parker, who's just a boy. Listen here, boy. Give me the Infinity Gauntlet. Because I'm OP, I can't be stopped. She never gets her broccoli.
It's true.
They want me to believe
spinach
that she is a piñata every minute. And it's just I'm the piñata.
That's a good point.
And it's just beating me.
That's a good point.
Beating the candy out of me.
That's actually a perfect analogy. A piñata.
And the
more you hit her, the more candy comes out.
Dude.
It just doesn't seem right.
Right. Exactly. There's a scene with Thanos where he gets the gauntlet and he goes to snap and she stops him and she's just looking at him. There's no struggle for her. It's just holding. And then he goes to headbutt her and he's like, oh, and she's still just standing there. It's like, what are you doing? You did such a good job up to this point of building characters, forging them. Okay. And from this point on, then you start doing your Lady Thor and this is what I was talking about. There's 3 different ways to do a character.
Pushed his phone away.
You can tell me.
Be serious.
You can tell me how great they are. Okay. You can show me how great they are, or you can teach me how great they are. Wow. If you teach me, that's what I'm talking about. You taught me.
Learn.
You taught me how selfish
Message.
Iron Man was.
Dang.
meaning,
and how
purpose.
at the very end, what it meant to sacrifice himself and become selfless for the greater good.
I love you 3000.
You taught me how great he was. You taught me about Captain America. You taught me about Thor. Okay? You get to Brie Larson.
It's like a Sleeping at Last song.
You taught me.
And you just want to tell me how great she is. I don't buy it. I hate her. I hate her looks. I hate her voice.
Wow.
I hate her cockiness.
Might be going too far.
Well, it sounds like. Well, I'm wondering, is it you're upset at her power level?
They fly now.
Or are you more upset that she is not worthy of that power level as a character?
I don't think she's worthy. There was no story told where she deserves that power. She just had it.
Even in her movie, Captain Marvel?
Oh. Don't buy into your emotions. Don't do it. And then, okay. And here's what's cool. I like the honor character. The guy that bestows honor. Or the girl. Sorry. Or the girl. You've got yourself a Ned Stark honorary man from Game of Thrones.
David's been watching Game of Thrones.
You got Jon Snow. Oh my gosh. You've got...
You like a character that's got conviction.
Yes.
Sticks to their guns.
So
Duty.
You've got Captain Marvel, who becomes the most OP thing that this world has ever seen. Never gets hurt. Never takes, whatever.
Well, I was going to say, a good comparison of Captain Marvel is DC's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about DC's Superman is he is a Boy Scout through and through.
Right.
That's his greatest strength, but it's also his greatest counter strength. It's his weakness, is he's so pure-hearted.
Right.
But like Captain Marvel, she kind of gets to do whatever she wants, I guess.
Yeah.
And also still gets to be super powerful.
So going back to like the honor, she fought Young Raj or whatever his name is, Young Rog. I will never get this right.
Young Roger.
Young Roger. And like they're battling in the beginning and he just beats her all the time. At the end, she beats him and he stands up, throws his armor off or his weapons, whatever. I don't remember because I don't like that movie. I don't care to remember.
Oh my gosh.
And he says, fight me. It's finally like time.
This is your time.
This
really,
is your time.
Really
to
can
beat
take
me.
me on. Me
Now,
and you.
The honorable thing to do, yeah, this guy's a piece of crap. But if she stripped her arm,
Whoa.
No, not like that. But like just came down to his level to show him what's up, to finally beat him, woman to man. You know what? That'd have been cool. Instead, they go the route of, I've been listening to you my whole life and I don't need to. Boom. And just like in a second, just totally disregards the challenge, the honorable thing to do, and just whatever.
I will say though about Jan Rog, that guy's one of the worst characters on our list.
No, Captain Marvel.
It's also like he can go on and rant about let's do this. It's like, no, you need to lie down. You need to shut up. You need to stop talking.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. You guys remember a little movie called Spider-Man?
No.
Homecoming?
Oh,
Yeah.
You remember how, like, at the end of that movie, Peter Parker doesn't just defeat the villain, he saves the villain's life.
Yeah, baby.
And then in
He's a good
Spider-Man
boy.
No Way Home, he doesn't just, like, defeat the villains, he saves their lives. Because he's a hero through and through. Even when he's tempted to, like, act like a Wonder Woman and just stab him, he doesn't do it. Captain Marvel strikes me as the kind of person who does not think twice about just like murking a dude.
No, she does whatever she wants. And it's annoying because, and it's really just like the power level.
It's scary. It's intimidating for somebody to be so powerful, but you don't know if they have the moral integrity to be that powerful.
Right. There's this scale of power.
It's like nuclear weapons. Who's got them? Who's trustworthy?
Oppenheimer,
Stalin,
Strauss. I never
Strauss.
saw the movie, so. But no, what I'm trying to say is there's this scale that the MCU creates. And Thanos is at the top of this scale. And for 20 movies, you come to this understanding that this guy is super powerful. Oh my gosh, how are they going to beat him? You get this in Infinity War, you get this helpless feeling, oh my gosh, Thanos just won. That is good storytelling. And then in Endgame, you bring in Brie Larson to just save the day, someone who doesn't deserve her powers, who's not a hero in any way, to just do whatever she wants because she's the most powerful thing ever. That bothers me a lot.
Well, there's two ways to handle a hero like that. Is the hero who deserves to have powers and they eventually get them, like Steve Rogers, or the character that has the potential to be very powerful, but they're wasting their time on material, vain living, like Thor or like Iron Man. And then you got the character who's like given extraordinary power, even though they're not worthy of it, and they have to earn, that power.
Right.
Where's Captain Marvel fall?
And that's the thing. And that's why I wanted to state
on that list.
Before this podcast, we made sure you guys know the Marvel's movie has not come out yet. I don't know what they're going to do with her. She might have some redeeming arc where she loses her power and now she's faced with the fact that she's a nothing and not an everything.
Dang, just like Flash.
Chrono Ball.
No, I was gonna say because it's the Marvels is like 3 different Marvels, so it's like the Flash, but like he had the other Flash with him, so it's like Captain Marvel is with 2 other people who have the powers when she doesn't.
I'm really banking on them making her character more likable in this movie.
I'm sure they will. I'm not worried about that.
But that's the thing, you already lost me. I'm not gonna see the movie.
I like Miss Marvel. I actually really like Miss Marvel. I think she's really fun.
Yeah, you've said that. You watched it.
She's like
you were the one.
She's like a fangirl that you're like, you fangirl for her fangirlism.
All my dreams are coming true.
It's a stand that you stand for.
She would be on this podcast.
Well, I gotta say, Dave, you have been getting redder and redder in the face for the last
angry,
couple minutes. So maybe we should move to number.
We should probably move on.
3, who you don't have any opinion on, because number 3 is the one, the only Carly Morgenthau.
I'm sorry.
From Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, Dave, you've not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I have not. And
now watch me and Austin get red in the face. Yeah, Carly Morgenthau is fantastically, profoundly, economically, dynamically, systematically, just such a terribly written character. She is the leader of this group called the Flag Smashers, which the show tries to explain are just a bunch of refugees who are desperate to get their place back in a world after the blip. Displacement and injustice and all sorts of weird reforms have put them in a bad place, and they just want to find their way in this world. And so they're trapped, and when they're trapped, they feel that they got to resort to violence to get their message heard, to be seen, for people to know what they need. So that all makes sense. Except Carly Morgenthau and her people are just like objectively terrorists.
Yeah.
Like just blowing up civilians, killing cops, killing people, just like, never wanting to talk to people about what's going on. But like it's like they keep showing scenes of Carly telling all of her associates why they're the good guys. And how all of their ends are going to justify the means.
Communism.
And then it's like as soon as they interact with anybody in the show who is a good guy, that all just gets turned off and they just become violent, murderous, evil people.
Yeah.
That's not communism. What am I thinking of?
I don't know, bro. Carly's just the worst.
That
dude.
sounds awful.
She's got She's not sympathetic. She's got contradictory motivations.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing innocent people.
They're not innocent. They're roadblocks in my journey, and I'd kill them again if I had to.
Wow.
She's not an underdog because she has Captain America powers.
Right.
Like she has super soldier serum powers.
She leaves her people like high and dry in multiple situations.
Yeah, she's not like
terrible leader.
Those two people in there.
This is the only language these people understand.
There's nothing good about her leadership. She's not inspiring. She has zero charisma. She has negative charisma. Like people are less interesting when they're standing near her.
Definitely.
She's repetitive in her ideology. She keeps talking about the same things over and over again, and they're never convincing.
Yeah.
Her dialogue is poorly done. I feel bad for the actress. It's not her fault. But she's the worst.
They did a better job with her in Solo, where she like
is the same character, by the way.
Say.
She's the same character in Solo.
Yeah.
But it works
Nest.
because she wears a mask most of the time and says so much less.
Yeah.
And does so much more.
Oh man. That'll preach.
And that's poetry.
One of the weirdest things about Carly Morgenthau is that it's like they wrote a story and then in hindsight they're like, oh man, this is like a very politically charged narrative we're making here. So we want to make sure we get the right message across. So like multiple times in the show, Sam Falcon is like trying to justify the bad guy's actions. Like, you just need to understand them. You just need to talk to them. We just need to listen to them, or they're just misunderstood. Like, Sam gets himself alone in rooms with Carly where they just try to talk it out.
Right.
And it's like, bro,
kill her.
She's not a good person. And then she has like the most pathetic death scene ever.
Oh, she does die.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sharon Carter shoots her.
Ah. And that's why she's higher on the list.
Yeah. She's like got this.
Someone had to go.
She's got an unclear backstory. She's like obsessed with this Auntie Danya or Mama Danya character. That is another like really terrible excuse of trying to generate sympathy for her as a character. Yeah, Carly's the worst. Carly is all the negative characteristics we have talked about on the list combined into this one character right here.
To a little girl.
She's not a little girl. She's a little joke.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think her mom, like, disowned her?
In the show or in real life?
No, in real life, because of the show.
I hope not.
Me too.
She was good in, that actress was good in,
Nature versus Nurture.
She was in The Green Knight. I thought she was good in The Green Knight.
I don't know what that is, Sean.
It's a movie.
It's on my list.
How do you...
Just gonna make stuff up and you'll believe me.
I've heard good things about your list.
All right, number 2.
Are we ready for number 2?
Let's hit it.
I don't think the people are ready for number 2.
Dave, this is the second worst character in the MCU according to the 99 Nerds.
At number 2, we have the Hulk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, brother!
I'm so confused. These are confusing times.
What a tragedy.
Dang.
Now, I know there's some rights issues going on with Universal and Disney. For those of you that don't know, I will just start with this. The Hulk is owned by Universal. Disney owns Marvel, so they have rights to the character of Hulk. But they don't have the rights to create a Hulk story or movie.
Standalone, yeah.
A standalone. So the Hulk is technically allowed to be in movies, but he's not allowed to be like the main protagonist. It's weird. I don't understand why. I think Universal and Disney don't like each other, so I don't know what's going on there.
I've never heard this before.
So the Hulk has not been able...
What if you're making this up?
...to be held in the hands of Disney. It's kind of like a bad divorce that happened.
Oh my gosh.
And they're fighting for the custody still.
That's my baby. Don't touch my baby.
So for those of you...
Cut the baby in half.
Yeah, with a sword right down the middle.
We'll see who truly loves the Hulk.
The Hulk on paper, you look at who he is and what he is, that can be the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Ogres!
Why?
Because everybody can relate with anger. I love it. Let him get angry. Let him punch something. I feel it sometimes. I get green. Right?
That's only when you have.
I am green with jealous rage.
I'll say, I like it. In the comics, my understanding is the Hulk is theoretically the most powerful character in like all of comics because his power level and strength is literally just a correlation of how angry he is.
Yeah.
So like, the angrier he gets, the more powerful he, like to just infinity.
I think this is again like not so much what he's done in the movies, more so what he could have done in the movies.
Yes.
Like the potential of the whole character. Like he could be on not on our worst MCU character list. He could be the top of the best MCU characters, and it's that potential lost that makes him on this list.
He is one of the 4 Avengers, and then you got Hawkeye and Black Widow, but the Hulk should be the top 4 with Thor, with Cap, and with Iron Man.
They nerfed him.
They nerfed the heck out of him. What the heck is this Professor Hulk crap we get?
Yeah.
Hulk out.
Bruce.
Damn.
Do you think it'd be hard to make a character like the Hulk a likable character for audiences if he's like a constant unhindered rage of anger all the time?
I think there's a story you could tell there. I think who would have thought?
Remember when Bruce Banner's like, "That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry."
That is literally what I was gonna say.
You don't look like it. You don't look like it.
Who would have thought that was the pinnacle of the Hulk?
Right.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Sounds like you're depressed.
Let's go!
Remember when they put Hulk in the trailer for Endgame? Or no, for Infinity War. But then he wasn't because he was in the Hulkbuster outfit. Remember when they faked us out with that?
You guys are so screwed now!
I think the directors talked about like they couldn't figure out what to do with the Hulk.
Right.
So they just found a way to like write him out.
Yeah. He's too powerful.
And then what is awkward is then when they brought him back for Endgame, he's like Smart Hulk now. It's like, well, yeah, but now you're like weak.
Remember when
soft?
They took him in Ragnarok, like literally fighting the giant that is killing Asgard.
Yeah.
Like he's like putting up a fight against him. And then like chronology,
systematically,
he is fighting Thanos like 37 minutes later, and Thanos freaking gives it to him.
Yeah.
And then I could be wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they tell you how he's the champion of Ragnarok.
Right.
They don't show you. They don't teach you. Like I'm trying to say.
David, yeah.
They tell you how great he is. And then doesn't Thor show up and beat him?
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of, they don't give us a lot of instances to show how unbelievably powerful Hulk really is.
Right.
It's like, I'm always angry. And then he just like punches the thing straight till it just drops the giant ship. And then in She-Hulk, they're doing like rock throwing and he throws one through the atmosphere. And you're like, yeah, Hulk is strong. But then he's not most of the time.
Yeah.
Such a waste of a character.
But then he gets run over by the Jeep.
Right. But wait, Austin.
No,
what
remember
if I
when
told
he jumped out of the jet to like fight the wolf and he's just like
What if I told you that the Hulk had a son? Oh, what? Tell his story.
Right.
Maybe I think it is the rights issue. They don't have the rights. So they're like sprinkling little storylines. Maybe one day they'll put it all together.
It is awkward. I actually hadn't thought about it until just now. Hearing you talk about this, I'm like, who's the actor that plays the Hulk?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Hearing Mark Ruffalo's voice, he's a fantastic actor, but hearing his voice come out of Hulk is like, it's really disappointing when you think about it. Like, imagine like Hulk as we think of the Hulk in the comics introducing his son. This is my son. It's like, instead it's like, Oh, hey guys, this is my son. Everybody say hi to Scar. It's like, bro, is this a joke?
Honestly, yeah.
Is this a prank?
I think it was.
Where'd Hulk go? What'd you do to him?
So it was just a waste of talent.
A waste.
What if we'll eventually? Oh, maybe we're never going to though, Dave, because it's a Universal thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I want
to see a movie where Hulk just snaps.
Dude, have you?
And he just punches the earth.
He
and
did
then it
snap.
destroys the earth.
He did literally
snapped for you.
No, but have you heard about the Planet Hulk comics? I think David's right though, where they can't make a standalone Hulk.
Does he turn into a planet?
No, he basically takes over this planet, and he becomes like the king. And then I might be mixing up storylines. Don't trust anything I say. I heard something one time about something. But anyway, there's a storyline where he literally is like the last person left on Earth.
Yeah.
It's like this post-apocalyptic world where giant insects have completely taken over the Earth.
It's always insects.
Or planet or wherever he's at. And he is the only one left. And he is his life is every day he wakes up, he's attacked by these bugs. He's eaten alive by these bugs, but then his regenerative powers bring him back to life, and then he relives it all the next day, where he's just in this constant loop of being eaten alive and regenerating, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Does he get angry about it though?
Not angry enough, obviously.
Also, Mark Ruffalo was recasted. Edward Norton.
Right.
So there's another recast for you.
Yeah. Which is great because those are both actors. Well, maybe this is intentional. I was going to say these are both two actors who I don't think I would be like impressed with if they got really, really angry.
Right.
Like Mark Ruffalo is just such a great guy. I wouldn't want to see him angry. I get sad.
And the problem
then
is,
Edward Norton is like, I can see him being angry, but like more as like a prima donna kind of a.
And the problem is like the newest Professor Hulk looks too much like Mark Ruffalo.
Hey, I feel like I'm the only one eating here, guys. Come on. Hulk out. Dab.
So I will say, I just found an article 3 days ago.
It's forever ago, dude.
There was evidence that indicates...
Evidence? What was this, an archaeological dig?
This is literally a Reddit user. Indicates Disney may regain the rights to Hulk in June 2023. Well, and that's the distribution rights. So that's the solo movie they could do.
When is that going to happen?
It says Universal currently owns the distribution rights. But it says it's rumored that in June, because there's a lot of legal battles going on.
June of when?
2023.
You mean 2 months ago?
Well, no, because the Hulk, the Edward Norton movie, is on Disney Plus now.
Okay.
So I think something is happening.
It was always an MCU film because it had Nick Fury in it and Tony Stark.
But Disney Plus now has the rights to distribute it to their platform.
Wait,
is what I'm trying to say.
They're in that movie?
Yeah, it's the end credit scene.
Oh.
It was Tony Stark, but Iron Man is the first MCU film. Incredible Hulk.
You're right.
With
Abomination.
No, I'm sorry. Nick Fury's not in it. It is Tony Stark and Major Domo, Generalissimo, the William Hurt character, that Colonel something.
Isn't Henry Harrison?
The guy who Harrison Ford is replacing.
I was gonna say Henry Ford.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's in the end of that movie.
The Red Hulk.
Yeah. And yeah, Tim Roth, Abomination. He was a fun little bit in She-Hulk.
That was fun.
Yeah, so that movie isn't completely redeemable.
Not completely.
Except for the fact that like you wasted an entire movie with Edward Norton as your Hulk when it just did not work.
Right.
He wasn't going to be Hulk.
Yeah, there's a rumored World War Hulk movie coming.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, there's a rumored Mannequin Skywalker movie.
So I don't know.
Hey, there's a rumored Remember the Titans 2 movie.
Save these lies for other podcasts. These are good content.
Hey, you know what I heard the other day? There's going to be a movie about my shoe.
Dang, what kind?
Dang, John Cena's gonna be in it.
Starring John Cena
as the shoe.
No, I don't know the laws and how that works.
You don't have to, Dave.
You didn't watch enough She-Hulk.
I just read that 15 years Universal has owned the distribution rights, and because of the 15-year mark in June, that it could be switching hands. I don't know if like the law is like for 15 years
Do you think when Hulk is finally free from Universal's grip, he's going to be angrier, or like less angry?
It'll be powerful.
Dang, that'll explain it.
I feel like I'm actually sad now because I never thought about how much of a wasted character Hulk is, and I'm like, man, I really wanted to see that guy like punch a star.
Right. The problem is, like, we've seen
like destroy a galaxy.
Right.
Just
we've seen Disney
ultimate punch.
We've seen Disney make make agreements with Sony for Andrew, Toby, and Tom to be in the same movie.
Right.
Like, we've seen them do what needs to be done.
That was different though. Those guys weren't doing anything.
20th Century Fox, Venom.
Waiting.
They brought Venom in.
Sitting by the phone.
Miles Morales at maybe at some point. Oh my gosh.
Hey, you guys think wouldn't it be cool as if like back in 2000, whatever it was, like 10 or no, longer than that, 2000, nobody knows when the MCU, nobody knows when Disney bought Marvel. But wouldn't it be cool if like when Disney bought Marvel, they bought Marvel? Right. Instead of like whatever's going on.
Some of my favorite like clips and stuff to see on YouTube is like X character going God mode, and it's like this hardcore edit of like their most intense moments, and like Hulk should have the most clips like that, or at least near the most, and he doesn't.
No.
It's him punching the alien in Avengers 1, and then him jumping on
hitting Loki back and forth.
Yeah, but even that, it's like Loki's not powerful to stop him. It's like he doesn't have that many like punching a hole in a star moments that he's capable of, which sucks.
Well, I got a question for the peeps then.
Bring it.
What would you rather have? A Hulk solo movie where we can get a good story of a guy who should be one of the most powerful.
Right.
Or keep the ride at Universal, the roller coaster.
I mean, it's not like it's that great of a ride.
Dude, I love that ride.
Yeah, but like, dude, I don't know. Like, aren't we spoiled on roller coasters though? Because like Cedar Point's a pretty good roller coaster park, and it's not that far away. Like, I'm not all that impressed by any of the coasters in Florida.
I think the Hulk was the best one.
Enough to sacrifice a movie.
Like, what are they gonna do? Paint it white and just like.
What's a
or like I don't know.
What's a Universal character?
The Bulk.
Bugs.
The Bulk. Yeah, you can keep everything the same, just like make them yellow or something, and it's still just like they launch off the track and you just hear roar. I'll say Universal actually has like way better wait in line decor.
Oh, for sure.
You don't care about me. You're not my friend.
No, it's like these Tesla coils going off. And ooh, the quantum.
And it shows how Jen got her power. She-Hulk.
The gamma rays are
like in line. You're in the gamma factory, and it shows Jen getting her powers. It shows Hulk getting his powers.
Dang.
Yeah.
I don't even like the Hulk. He's all like smash. I prefer you.
Thanks.
But
we need to get back to this list because we got one more.
We got to go to bed, guys.
At number 1, Janet Van Dyke.
Janet Van Dyke is the worst.
Michelle Pfeiffer
in MCU.
Ant-Man, Quantumania. Open your freaking mouth and tell the truth, and this movie doesn't happen.
Open your eyes, Janet. Open your eyes. What is going on? Why are we here? It's all your fault. Just tell us what's going on.
Shut it down now.
Janet.
Why would we shut
What's
it down?
wrong?
You have to turn it off. Stop and tell us what's wrong. There's something I should have told you.
Just talk about it. Like, just form the words. 3 words. Just a sentence. All you need to do is tell us what's going on. I don't even have time to tell you what I don't have time to tell you.
I can't talk about it.
He's here. He's looking for me. Who? He's onto us. It's a pronoun game. It's embarrassing.
The only place that could hold him.
Who?
I don't know.
It's 2000 and when did that movie come out? 2022?
It came out like 7 seconds ago. I don't know.
It did, didn't it?
It was 2023.
That movie, it's the year of our Lord 2023, and we're still writing characters. We're still making movies where the entire plot could have been fixed literally with a 10-second conversation.
Trust me, after 30 years down here, I've thought about it a lot.
I mean, imagine I'm sitting in the theater knowing this the whole time. I was turning into the Hulk. That's actually what's going to happen in the Hulk movie.
Dang.
He's going to be reading the report from the Quantum Mania event. What?
You guys almost died in a place she spent 30 years learning about.
Yeah, that was a bad character.
She's completely unfaithful to her husband.
Yeah, she cheated on her husband.
With Bill Murray.
She helped.
Where is it?
Hey, don't run from the Lord.
I was not disappointed. You know, like one of the things is like, oh, I helped this stranded man put his ship back together, only then to discover he's an evil person. It's like, well, Janet, that wasn't your fault. You didn't know any better. Everybody can empathize. Everybody understands. But no one can forgive the fact that you won't like just talk to anybody about it.
Right.
Because everything's gone wrong now because of that. Don't you just hate people?
Yeah.
That are trying to make you feel sorry for them when they've done nothing wrong.
Yep.
It's like so attention seeking.
A victim mentality.
Victim mentality.
Shut your mouth and go through things.
She dragged everybody down to the quantum realm and didn't even have the guts to tell them what was going on.
Right.
And the whole movie is her fault. Fortunately, nobody died in that movie. Like nothing of consequence happened.
Right.
In Quantum
Literally
Mania.
nothing.
But if something had happened, we would have all been able to blame Janet.
For sure.
In fact, I like to think anything wrong with the MCU from that movie going forward is Janet's fault. Secret Invasion, Janet. She's the new Karen.
Maybe she's a Skrull.
Wouldn't even help. Wouldn't have helped.
It makes sense why they chose that face.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that means.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Wasn't she in 8 Mile?
I have no idea.
Was she
No, it's Mekhi Pfeiffer.
She was the mom in Elf, right?
No.
Shut it down.
Any thoughts about Janet Van Dyke, Austin? I want you to this is the last time you're ever going to get to talk about her. Like, just make your peace.
She single-handedly ruined that movie. She's a kite. Top wench.
The Queen kite.
Queen kite. Yeah, just super annoying. Ruined the movie. Ruined my night.
It's like the conflict was that she felt responsible for Kang.
Right.
And that was the whole reason why she didn't want to talk. But come to find out, like, she stopped Kang from doing what he was going to do.
Right.
It's like
there was no conflict.
Yeah.
Janet, are you stupid? Is that what this is all about? You're stupid. You don't know anything because you're telling me one thing, but the reality is the opposite. So you're a very unreliable character and a bad mom.
Terrible.
And a bad wife.
Bad wife.
And a bad possible stepmom.
Dang.
And a bad possible step grandma.
Yeah.
Word.
And a bad friend.
Refused to teach her granddaughter about the quantum realm.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Like, grandma, gosh, you are just raising the stakes here. I'll do it, okay? Gosh. But like your alcoholic outburst or whatever's going on with you is making me really uncomfortable. Honestly, Janet, of all like this list isn't just worst MCU characters. It's also like if the list was characters I'm most afraid of going on a really uncomfortable racist rant at Thanksgiving. That's Janet Van Dyke.
Yeah, I could see it.
Do you think Janet Van Dyke can be saved at this point?
like in the MCU.
Like you guys talk about like Chopper from Rebels has like killed more people in Star Wars than anyone or something like that.
He's up there. We actually, I mean, I think we backtracked on that because at one time we said he had the most kills. He doesn't, but he's got a lot of kills.
Does that mean he doesn't have any, or it's like it's a technicality? He's actually
like
number 2.
It's in like the 10,000s.
Janet Van Dyke might be. I think she's destroyed. I think it's her fault an entire universe is destroyed. If I'm correct.
Sure.
And I mean, I don't know. What are the consequences of like this Kang guy getting defeated and like unleashing the Kang dynasty thing? I mean, people talk about like, oh wow, good thing for that rat in Avengers Endgame that pretty much saved the day. Okay, well that is a very interesting twist of fate. I'll say that, sure. Mm-hmm. But whatever the opposite of that is just Janet Van Dyke. Right. It's just one. All of chaos and destruction in the universe hinges on this one character.
I don't have anything nice to say about her. I don't.
Remember when they rescued her from the quantum realm in Ant-Man 2 and she possessed Scott for a minute?
Yeah.
You guys remember this? When she like possessed Ant-Man to like communicate to them?
Right.
And like Paul Rudd had to like act that out. That Janet Van Dyke seemed like a really nice lady. Mm-hmm. The one we got was not her.
They faked us out. Well, I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, really, I mean, I was having fun until we started talking about Janet Van Dyke.
I know, that like killed
She's the worst.
Everything.
She is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about like all the ways in my life I want to not become like that.
Yeah.
That's what this list is ultimately about. It's a warning. What are the character qualities, traits, social dysfunctions, characteristics, and ideals that make you the worst?
Do we have any honorable mentions that didn't make the
Nebula,
list?
her voice. My gosh.
David hates the voices.
Yeah. This is how she talks. Get over it. Stop talking through your teeth. Open up your mouth.
I think, what's her name? Jane Foster's assistant lady. She's kind of annoying.
She was also in WandaVision.
Oh, yeah.
Mandarin from
Kat Dennings is the actress, I believe. I don't mind her. She's not in a lot, so I don't have a reason to.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't. Her. She's just kind of annoying.
I'd hang out with her. She could be on the podcast.
Honorable mentions: Bucky Barnes. He should have been Captain America.
Well, Dave, it's not true. It's fine.
That story would have been
Here's what
so
I
much
say.
better.
Dave, what do you mean that story? You didn't even see the show.
I don't want to know the rest of the story. They lost me. I'm done. I'm gone.
They kind of nerfed him.
How you feel about Falcon and Winter Soldier is how I feel about Clone Wars.
But that's different. That's so different.
It's not. Remember when they gave Anakin an apprentice and they shouldn't have?
Yeah, remember when her show comes out next week?
Trying not to. Watch You Won't Like It.
I might not. Dude, I don't know if I'm just depressed, but I have not liked
From the Lord.
anything.
I think it's because you're becoming a man now.
I did get married recently.
And it's like, and that is such a blessing in your life. Everything else in comparison
is a curse.
That's a really good attitude to have. So you feel that Kat Dennings is no bueno?
She's an annoying character. I've mentioned a couple characters like last week when we said we were going to do this list.
Ironheart.
Oh yeah, Ironheart.
That's another one.
Yeah, I didn't care for her in the first installment.
Too smart.
I didn't love her. I didn't dislike her though that much. I thought she was fine.
The problem is like Tony Stark's story concluded and they just bring in this girl who's apparently smarter than everybody and has a suit like Tony Stark. It's like,
easy, Dave. She went on ChatGPT and just typed, what do I need to do to be Tony Stark?
She created ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh.
Who else from that movie? Namor.
Namor.
Say no more.
Dave is like, I'll say Shuri would have been on this list, but then Wakanda Forever makes her a lot better. Want to know why? Because they gave her spinach.
Word.
She had to take some hits. She had to learn a lesson. She had to grow up.
Her mom had to die.
Her mom had to die. Just like Captain Marvel's mom has got to die.
Yeah.
I guess.
Someone had to die.
Janet Van Dyke, apparently the only way for her to get fixed is everyone else has to die.
Right.
But that would be too bad.
Right.
Actually, maybe that would have worked in that movie if Martin Sheen. No. What's nobody?
Bill Murray?
Nobody knows what the the actor's name is who played
Hank
Pym. But what if he had died in that movie?
Douglas.
Yeah, and that was when she had to like, oh my gosh, I got to get it together. I'm a terrible person.
Die is one of them.
And then Hope, her daughter, died.
Somebody,
I'm a terrible person.
Somebody should have died in that movie,
for sure.
Especially with the way they marketed that movie.
I know we're just repeating ourselves from that Quantumania episode, but how much better would it have been if Hope and Ant-Man were trapped in the quantum realm at the end of that movie? Like they should have been.
Right.
And like, oh my gosh, the stakes have never been higher. They're alive, but they're trapped. Oh no.
And then remember when Kang showed that he was like a Sith Lord with his power, but then like never showed that again.
Told you, man. It's my theory.
That's right. You did have
playing the long game.
Shoot.
But you'll have to go listen to the Quantumania
sounds like a convenient
pod.
excuse. Well, why don't the beloved listeners tell us who their worst character of the MCU is?
Let us know who we missed.
Who do you agree with that we put on?
I can tell you for a fact there are people on this list that if I were at home listening, I would not have agreed with our take on.
Yeah.
Which means I'm saying I don't agree with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have this like deep-rooted anger towards Cassidy.
Cassie. He won't even say her name. He hates her.
She's so forgettable. I don't even remember her name. She would have been way high on my list. The whole movie, I was just mad at her. What else? Who else?
Well, we'll leave that to the audience.
Yeah, let us know what you think, fam. Comment your least favorite MCU character. Well, shout out to David's shirt.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man 99.
Dude, I got to get a shirt like
Spider-Man
that.
2099.
Austin, your shirt is something cool.
This is the shirt we won at the Star Wars Trivia Night at a local bar. It's my favorite shirt.
Good for you.
Sean, what's your shirt say?
It's a language you wouldn't understand.
Dang, Elvish. Cool.
Janet Van Dyne fan club.
Real quick, because we've been going long. I checked something off my watch list, guys.
What'd you watch?
Wasn't feeling that great one day.
Which watch did you get?
Went home a little early. Miranda was gone with the kids, so I sat on the couch, opened up my TV. Amazon Prime put this movie front and center right in my face, and I said,
Transformers.
That's on my list. I've heard nothing but good things. I watched Top Gun Maverick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that was a great movie.
There you go.
Hyped me up.
It's a fun movie.
I saw a naval recruiter the other day, and I am joining the Air Force. No, I'm just kidding. It was a great movie. And I watched a Tom Cruise movie, Sean.
Thomas. Cruising up there in the skies with his jet.
I thought it was a great story. Loved it. Didn't even see the first one. Didn't matter.
First one doesn't, honestly, couldn't care less about the first one, and I did see it.
Doesn't matter.
Top Gun Maverick's a good movie, though.
Good movie. What's his name? Miles Teller?
Miles Teller.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
He's got the most punchable face.
I hate that guy.
I swear.
And I thought I liked him in this movie. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And it's because they
No, I can't be wrong. But maybe I am.
Because that other guy had an even more punchable face in the movie.
And then he comes back at the end. He's like, he saves him.
Freaking saves him. That's
like,
great.
Yeah! Everybody's a hero.
But then he's like, I'm so great. And you're like, come on, man.
That's why they call me Hangman, because I always leave you hanging. But then you didn't at the end.
It was good. I liked it.
It was cute.
Did you see that, David?
It made
I
me
haven't.
believe.
But you just ruined it, so I don't need to. They save him at the end.
There's so much more to it.
I was going to say, we need to do a best character list now.
Yeah.
Because where there's negativity, there needs to be positivity.
Right.
How long is this episode right now, Austin?
Sean, we've been going
for like 2 hours and 20
it's a 2
minutes.
hour. Yeah.
So it's funny because that positive one will be like 30 minutes. So like, this guy's good.
I like
this
them.
guy.
They're good.
Next.
So powerful.
He's so cool. I like him.
He's a good boy.
What will Austin cross off his next list next?
It sounds like, Austin, all we got to do is get your wife and kids to leave you alone for extended periods of time while you're sick.
I just need to get sick more often and come home early.
So we're going to put you in the hospital.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Easy.
I'm just too healthy.
It's for the nerds.
Word. All right, Dave, you want to close this out?
Yeah, we had fun doing this list. I found that personally, I love to hate on things.
There's a reason we had David run this episode.
I think that's the most I've ever talked in my life.
How do you feel now?
Janet. So I'm going to go home and complain a little bit more about Brie Larson and Emily, and it'll be a good day. I had a good day.
I hope that works out for you.
Like, comment, subscribe. There's a lot you could comment. Tell us what you hate. Yeah. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you love to hate. Do it all. Get Gertie on the line. Let her know.
Get her on.
We need her to subscribe. And
we need more Gerties to subscribe.
And we love you. We cherish you. We need you.
This is podcasting.
This is podcasting.
Peace.